Okay, so a quick recap of what we did yesterday when we are valuing the equity shares. Now there are number of unique features for equity shares which makes their valuation a bit different from fixed income securities. As you people know, for equity shares there is no fixed dividend. Okay, and the dividend again can vary over the years. It is totally up to the firm whether to pay dividend or to retain the earnings depending on the dividend payout ratio. Again, uh, if the company is retaining the earnings, then the shareholders expect accordingly an increase in the capital value or the worth of the equity share. So they feel that if there is a trade-off between current earnings, current dividend earnings, then that should be compensated by the capital gain they make from the share. So in these on these parameters, equity share valuation becomes a lot different from the fixed income security. Okay. Now we come to the concept of intrinsic value. Intrinsic value is the accounting value. In simple terms, what should be the fair value of the share? Okay. So what should be the fair price of the share? That is the intrinsic value. It is what the price should be and not what the price is. So we compare this fair value with the market value and then we locate for shares which are underpriced. Okay, that becomes a good buy for the investor, and accordingly you should buy those securities which have an intrinsic value which is higher than the market value. Any share which has a vice versa equation with a market value higher than the intrinsic value, that is an overpriced share and not a good buy for the investor. Okay, so this is the funda on which we will be working in our further the questions which we will be taking. If you remember when we started with corporate finance, therein we did two objectives of corporate finance or financial management. क्या क्या थे वो objectives? What were the two objectives of financial management which we compared in detail?
Profit maximization and wealth maximization.
You are absolutely correct. There were profit maximization and wealth maximization. And what was the difference between the two? Anyone? What was the difference? Profit maximization as a concept is based on which value? Yes, Parth. Parth, unmute yourself. Parth is here. Piyush. Piyush, unmute yourself. Yes, बेटा बताओ प्रॉफिट मैक्सिमाइजेशन और वेल्थ मैक्सिमाइजेशन में क्या डिफरेंस था? नेटवर्क प्रॉब्लम. यस ईशिता आप बताओ. ओके, नो प्रॉब्लम.
Profit maximization is when we maximize the earning per share.
Okay, and what is wealth maximization?
Wealth maximization, increasing the value of the share.
Okay, value means the market price of
Market
the
value.
share. Okay, so profit maximization was increasing the earning per share, while wealth maximization was increasing the market price of the share. बिल्कुल सिंपल टर्म्स में प्रॉफिट मैक्सिमाइजेशन अकाउंटिंग प्रॉफिट्स पर बेस्ड था, अकाउंटिंग इंफॉर्मेशन पे बेस्ड था, और वेल्थ मैक्सिमाइजेशन वाज बेस्ड ऑन द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ कैश फ्लोज. Okay, so in finance we focus on wealth maximization, and that is why we focus on the concept of cash flows. Okay, if I have to find out the value of equity shares as per the accounting concept, say I will go for book value से मैं divide कर दूंगी number of equity shares and I will get the value per equity share. So therein I am working on the liquidation value or book value taken from the accounting statements. When I work in finance on this valuation, I work on the concept of cash flows. Okay, just to explain you, we will discount all the future earnings which are expected from the equity share. So valuation of equity shares. Let's move with the first model under this, which is the dividend discount model. Okay, so the intrinsic value or the fair value of the share will be, say you are holding the share for 2 years, so D1 over here we'll take, say, the price. So by discounting the future expected earnings from the share, you will get the intrinsic value of the share. Okay, this was the case when we were holding the share for 2 years. So you are discounting the dividend for 2 years, and then the price at the end of second year is being discounted for 2 years, brought to 0 point of time. You sum them up, you get the intrinsic value. So under the dividend discount models, we have a number of cases. We'll start with the first case, where the holding period of the share holding period is 1 year. So you are holding the share for 1 year, and you have to tell what the intrinsic value of the share should be. So as you can see from the above equation, from the above values, we'll just write it down. D1 upon 1 plus Ke plus P1 upon 1 plus Ke. So the formula can be written like this. D1 will be dividend expected at the end of year 1. P1 will be the price expected at the end of year 1. And Ke is the cost of equity or the discount rate, which we will be using to discount the future cash flows from the equity share. Okay, so this is the formula. Let us start with the first question. Anything anyone wants to ask here? Okay, so I hope this is clear. We move to the first question. So an investor wants to invest in equity share for 1 year, and the company is expected to declare a dividend of 2 rupees. Find out whether the share is a good buy if the current market price is 100 rupees right now, while the rate of return is 10%. I'm writing the formula again here. Please calculate the intrinsic value. Take the values from the question and tell what the ideal price of the share should be. Just please solve and put the answer in the chat box. नाइन्टी 2.7 आपने बेटा कुछ वैल्यू गलत लिया आयुषी. Yes, Yuvraj 110.9, approximately 111 should be the answer. आपने आयुषी आई थिंक P1 आपने गलत लिया होगा. P1 should be 120. Yes, all of you are right. Devansh, Shishita, Muskan, you get a value of 111. Yes, good. Yes, all of you have got the correct answer. D1 is 2 120 upon 1.10. So, should we purchase this share? Should the investor buy this share? Yes, because the intrinsic value is higher than the market price. Okay, the share is available for 100 rupees, while the fair value should be 111. So the decision should be to purchase the share. Okay, so this is how we value the share which has a holding period of 1 year. Okay, we are discounting the expected cash flows for a period of 1 year. Okay, I hope this is clear to everyone. We move to the second question, which wherein we will be having a holding period which is more than 1 year. Okay, so the question is there on your screens. An investor wants to invest in a share which is expected to declare a dividend of 2 rupees per share at the end of every year for 5 years. After that, the expected price is 150. तो अब आपका जो होल्डिंग पीरियड है वो 5 इयर्स का है. तो इस केस में आपकी इंट्रिंसिक वैल्यू क्या होगी? आई एम जस्ट राइटिंग. Okay, these are the expected cash flows for the 5 years. Your dividend remains the same, 2 rupees per share. अब इसमें दो तरीके हैं सॉल्व करने के, आप कैलकुलेटर यूज करके भी सॉल्व कर सकते हो। इजियर मेथड क्या है कि आप प्रेजेंट वैल्यू टेबल्स यूज करो और आप इन सारे कैश फ्लोज की प्रेजेंट वैल्यू कैलकुलेट करो। फॉर फर्स्ट 5 years the cash flows are equal, so we will use the present value annuity factor table to recall PVAF table. You will be seeing at 10% for 5 years और लास्ट में जो 150 है that is a single cash flow, so you will see the PVF table 10% for 5 years. Okay, so I will give you the table values. Tomorrow onwards, please sit with the present value table. I'll share it today on your Google Classroom. For the time being, you can write the table value PVAF. The table value है 3.791 and here it is 0.621. Now you can multiply and add. Please share the answer. Excuse me for a minute. I have called. Okay, so you people are getting 100.582. Okay, rest of you are also getting the same value. So intrinsic value in this case is coming to, all of you are correct, good, 100.582, while the market price of the share is given at 110. So in this case, will you purchase this share? You will not purchase this share because the intrinsic value is lower than the market value of the share. So your decision will be to avoid this share. This is not a good buy. Okay. Had the price been lower than 100.582, you would have purchased the share. Okay, I hope this is clear. We now move to the third case. ओके अभी तक हमने दो केसेस करे हैं, एक में होल्डिंग पीरियड आपका 1 year था, सेकंड केस यू हैड मल्टीपल होल्डिंग ईयर्स और मल्टीपल ईयर्स ऑफ होल्डिंग द इक्विटी शेयर. नाउ वी कम टू द थर्ड केस वेयर देयर इज नो डेफिनेट होल्डिंग पीरियड. No definite holding period. Okay, now all of you know that equity shares are the permanent capital of the company because there is no redemption duration or redemption date for equity shares. Okay, in case of distribution of dividend, Equity shareholders have the last right on the income, and again at the time of winding up of the company, equity shareholders have the last claim on the assets of the shares of the assets of the company. Okay, so there may be cases when you will find that there is no definite holding period because you are working on the going concern concept. So you are holding the equity share for an infinite period of time. So under this we have सब cases. पहला केस क्या होगा यहाँ पर? When no dividends are being declared by the company. So no dividends, or the case of zero dividends. Okay, so there are shares which are giving you just the capital gain and no regular stream of income. In those cases, how do we calculate the intrinsic value? It will be D1 upon KE. Not zero dividend, but this should be no growth case. No growth in dividend. जीरो डिविडेंड वाला भी केस करेंगे, वो मैं आपको आगे करवाऊंगी. अभी आप जीरो ग्रोथ इन डिविडेंड्स वाला केस कर रहे हो कि जो आपका डिविडेंड है दैट रिमेन्स कांस्टेंट over the infinite holding period. Okay, so in that case you are calculating the intrinsic value of the share in this manner. D1, the dividend expected at the end of first year or at the end of each year, divided by the cost of equity or the cost of capital. When will the cost of capital be equal to cost of equity? When will the cost of capital be equal to cost of equity? Anyone? What is the meaning of cost of capital? Class? What is cost of capital? Ayushi, please repeat.
Ma'am, I guess when there will be no debt, so the cost of capital will equal to the cost of equity.
When there is new, loudly, आपकी आवाज clear नहीं आ रही है. Okay, anyone else by that time? Guncha, what is cost of capital? Okay, so Anurag has answered this. Guncha, Guncha is not here. Cost of capital is the required rate necessary to make a capital budgeting project. Okay, so required rate of return. कैसे कैलकुलेट करते थे आप कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल? पूरा यूनिट करा है हमने कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल पे. यस अश्विन, आर यू हेयर?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
हाँ बेटा, कैसे कैलकुलेट करते थे कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल? याद है कुछ आपको? नहीं याद? ओके. Yes, very good. Both of you are correct. Anurag, it is the weighted average cost of individual sources of finance. Yes. तो आप इक्विटी की कॉस्ट कैलकुलेट करते थे, आप डेट की कॉस्ट कैलकुलेट करते थे, आप प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स की कॉस्ट कैलकुलेट करते थे. सबका वेटेड एवरेज लेके आपको कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल मिलता था. एंड यस आयुषी, एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. अगर कंपनी के पास कुछ भी डेट कैपिटल नहीं है, ऑल द फंडिंग is being done through equity shares, then cost of capital will be equal to the cost of equity. Okay, so in the questions we are solving, we are assuming that the only source of finance or in the capital structure we are having just equity, 100% equity firm है, and that is why cost of capital या जो हम discount rate term use करते हैं या opportunity cost of capital use करते हैं, they are equal to the cost of equity. Okay, so let us take up a question on this case where there is zero growth in dividends. So this is the question. An investor wants to invest in an equity share which had given you an earning per share of 50 and dividend payout ratio is 40%. The required rate of return from equity is 20%. So for the time being, you can solve the first part of the question where there is no growth in dividends. Okay, so what is different in this question is that you are given the EPS डिविडेंड की वैल्यू कैसे कैलकुलेट करेंगे, व्हाट विल बी द अमाउंट ऑफ डिविडेंड. How will we calculate the amount of dividend? Yes, very good. So from earning of 50 rupees per share, you are paying the dividend of 40%. So your dividend per share will be 50 into 40 by 100, which gives you 20 rupees. Okay, now you can put the value in the question. In the formula is D upon KE. So first case, what will be the answer? ₹100, absolutely correct. 20% is the discount rate, so you get it at ₹100 per share. Good. Now the second case, same question. Your dividends are expected to grow at a constant rate of 18% per annum. Okay. Now these this growth is expected to continue forever. तो इस केस में आप कैलकुलेट कैसे करते हो the price of equity share? Okay, so this becomes your fourth case or the second case under the infinite holding period when there is constant growth. D1 upon KE minus G. D1 will be dividend expected at the end of year 1 and G will be your growth rate. Okay. तो अब आपके क्वेश्चन में आपने D0 कैलकुलेट करा है 20 आपका ग्रोथ रेट है 18% and your KE is 20%. So step 1 will be to calculate D1. Okay, now you can solve the question. ये कितनी आएगी वैल्यू? 20 into 1.1 is 23.6. Now just put the values and tell me what the intrinsic values coming to. $118, I'll just check. Yes, absolutely right. It should be 118. Rest of you also complete. Yes, correct. Take a minute more. All of you complete this. Then we'll move to the third case. Okay, so 118 in this case is the answer. We now move to the third case. So the third case is variable growth in dividends. Okay, variable growth rate means for 2 years the dividend are growing at 10% per annum, then for next 3 years at 15%, and later on 18% forever. क्योंकि होल्डिंग पीरियड डिफाइन नहीं है, जो भी लास्ट ग्रोथ रेट होगी दैट विल कंटिन्यू फॉर एवर. So I am writing these steps. You people also note down these steps. Then I'll explain these steps. First, write them down. Okay, so these are the 4 steps you are following. You are first calculating the value over the period of varying growth. जब तक वेरिएशन आ रहा है ग्रोथ में, तब तक आप पहले डिविडेंड्स कैलकुलेट करोगे हर ईयर के, और फिर उनकी प्रेजेंट वैल्यू कैलकुलेट करके यू विल एड देम अप. देन you have to calculate the price of share at the last year with variable growth. Okay, so it will be more clear. I will take up a question. You can just note down the steps, and for this price you again calculate the present value, and then we add up the answers of step 2 and step 4. So step 5 is basically step 2 plus step 4. You will get the intrinsic value of the share. We are adding up the values which we are getting in step 2 and step 4. Should I move to the question, or you are noting it down? We're done. Okay, so let's quickly take up a question and then the concept will be clear. So here is the question. Okay, so you see here in the question, your dividends are growing at 18% per annum for 4 years. Okay, and after that they are expected to increase at 6% per annum forever. Calculate the intrinsic value if the required rate of return is 15% and the dividend just paid during last year is 2 rupees. So we'll start with step 1. For 4 years, so year 1, 2, 3 and 4. For 4 years you have a growth at 18% per annum. तो D0 है आपका, क्योंकि वो लास्ट ईयर का डिविडेंड है, दैट इज D0. So now this will be 2 into 1.18, 2 into 1.18 raised to the power 2. First calculate the dividend stream. Please give the values. ये तो हमने पहले भी कैलकुलेट करा है, 2.36 आएगा इसका आंसर. What will be the other 3 dividends? Please put the values in the chat box. 2.78, 3.28, and last is 3.87. Okay, I hope everyone is getting this value. After this, in the first step, we have calculated the values of dividend. Second step is to calculate the present value of this stream. Okay, तो अब जब आपने प्रेजेंट वैल्यू कैलकुलेट करनी है, आप किस पे कैलकुलेट करोगे? आप 15% पे कैलकुलेट करोगे. I will write down the present value factor at 15%. You can then multiply and add them up. Okay, from the present value table, you will get these values for 1, 2, 3, 4 years. Multiply them. The sum total of present values. Multiply the two columns and add them up. If the answer 8.5, okay, 8.53. Yes, all of you are getting this 8.5. See, this is the present value. Rest of you also check 8.5 approximately 518. So 8.5 or 8.51 is the answer in this step. Okay, 8.5 exact is the answer. Now the next step was that you have to calculate the price of the share at the end of the variable growth period. यानी कि जिस साल के बाद आपका फॉरएवर है ग्रोथ, उस साल के एंड पे आप प्राइस ऑफ शेयर कैलकुलेट करोगे. Which means we are in this question calculating P4. क्योंकि 5th ईयर ऑनवर्ड्स आपका फॉरएवर ग्रोथ 6% पर एनम है. ओके, सो प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड दिस. We calculate the price of the share at the end of variable growth year, that is the year after which the growth rate will continue forever. So when I have P4 here, जब आप P0 ले रहे थे तो आप लेते हो D1 अपॉन KE माइनस G. जब यहाँ पर मैं प्राइस कैलकुलेट कर रही हूँ 4th ईयर के लिए, तो here I will take D5 अपॉन KE माइनस G. तो पहले आपको D5 कैलकुलेट करना पड़ेगा. व्हाट विल बी द डिविडेंड फॉर द 5th ईयर. तो 3.87 इंटू कितना है 1.06. D5 आपका आएगा 3.87 इंटू 1.06. So which is coming to 4.102. ओके, बस अब आप वैल्यूज पुट कर सकते हो. KE आपका 15 है और G आपका 6% है. प्लीज पुट इन दी वैल्यूज in this formula. D5 upon 0.15 minus 0.06. Fast quickly. कितना आ रहा है प्राइस ऑफ शेयर एट एंड ऑफ 4th ईयर? माइनस में आ रहा है.
Am I able out?
Yes, Yuvraj.
I need to multiply it with 1.18.
Why didn't we multiply with 1.18? Because in the 5th year, the dividend is growing at 6%. So dividend expected at the end of 5th year will consider 6% growth rate. Okay, so okay, it's not negative. It is 45.57. Okay, no problems. So I'll move to the next page. Let's introduce a blank page here. So step 3. अब आपको इसकी प्रेजेंट वैल्यू कैलकुलेट करनी है. प्रेजेंट वैल्यू ऑफ प्राइस will be 45.57 into PVF 15% for 4 years. 0.572 थी वैल्यू. मल्टीप्लाई करके कितना आ रहा है? पॉइंट 5 आपने कैलकुलेट करा था. So 34. Please check. Yes. So this will be the answer. The rest of you complete. Solution is there on the screen. By that time, I'll start with the attendance. If there's any doubt, you can ask.
Yes, ma'am. Can you once
Yes.
again explain why did you multiply it with 1.06? I did not understand.
1.06 वाला आप पूछ रहे हो 50 ईयर का?
Yes, ma'am.
बेटा 4 इयर्स के लिए डिविडेंड 18% पे ग्रो कर रहा है. 5th ईयर ऑनवर्ड्स डिविडेंड आपका 6% पे ग्रो कर रहा है. ठीक है. जो 5th ईयर के एंड पे डिविडेंड होगा उसमें तो फिर आप 6% ग्रोथ कंसिडर करोगे ना. 18% तो 4 इयर्स के लिए है. 5th ईयर ऑनवर्ड्स द ग्रोथ रेट इज 6%. तो जो लास्ट डिविडेंड है उस पर 6% का अब आपको ग्रोथ मिलेगा.
Okay.
Clear,
Thank you.
Yuvraj?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Please answer your attendance. Yuvraj,
Present, ma'am.
Shubham was here. Shubham कहाँ गया? सिद्धांत, भव्या,
Present, ma'am.
सार्थक,
Present, ma'am.
मुदित,
Present, ma'am.
मेघना,
Present, ma'am.
इशिता,
Present, ma'am.
साक्षी,
Present, ma'am.
आशु,
Present, ma'am.
पार्थ,
Present, ma'am.
सचिन,
Hello, ma'am.
Present, ma'am.
Shubham this time, ma'am. Actually, I missed my roll call.
हाँ शुभम आई मार्क्ड. ओके. कशिश, राजकुमार,
Present, ma'am.
अभिषेक,
Present, ma'am.
अमन, अमन is here, no? Guncha,
Present, ma'am.
you can exit as and when you are done with your attendance. Yashvardhan, Aryan, Harsh, Parth, Shrey, Ashwin,
Yes, ma'am.
Ayushi,
Present, ma'am.
Kabir, Abhishek, Vinay,
Present, ma'am.
Aman,
Present, ma'am.
भागने श्रेय कहाँ चले जाते हो आप लोग?
मैम एक्चुअली मैम फैमिली प्रॉब्लम्स थे उसकी वजह से मैं उसमें बिजी हूँ.